Alrighty, we're here at Cakes and Candles with another passion project. We got two buddies here, both going to talk about their passion for filmmaking.
I'm Chris Salazan. I've been wanting to be a director since I was a kid, and been studying filmmaking for a while. And yeah.
All right.
I'm James Eberson. I wanted to become a screenwriter since I was a kid, and yeah, I've also been studying it for a couple of years now.
Okay. When would you say you really realized this is what you wanted to do as a career?
I think it's going to sound cheesy when I was a kid, but when I first saw Star Wars,
Okay.
just seeing that as a kid, I was like, man, this is like so fucking cool. I want to do this, you know? And I think even Gene Roddenberry himself said it best. He was like, Star Wars is kind of like the King Arthur in a way,
Yeah.
It's kind of like this, almost like seeing like a tale come to life. So.
Right.
And I remember when, as a kid, I was kind of like, I want to know how that was made. That's how pretty much started from there. So.
Okay.
Well, for me, I kind of just grew up on movies, so it's hard to say when I realized it, but it was definitely I always treated like movies as like an escape for most of my life, where I don't think I want to make like some Citizen Kane. I just want to make something fun, something that like people can watch, just have a good time.
Okay, kind of going off of that, would either of you say you're a perfectionist when it comes to...
Maybe like if you guys talked to me in like my early 20s, I probably would have been like a snobby film student. But as time went on, I was like, can't be too cynical in this kind of industry because it's so hard to get into. And plus, I started like appreciating more like, I guess, cheap films and like horror films, stuff like that. Because I realized, learning from those filmmakers, you see they just have fun.
Right.
That's basically what I do. What I want to do.
That should be the number one goal, is to entertain.
Yeah. Like I don't want to I don't really care about awards or stuff like that. I just want to make movies.
Okay. So it sounds like you both kind of have the same goal of you just want to entertain your audience, have fun while you're making. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Would either of you say you have a particular genre that you hope to focus in on, or?
Well, for me, I really love sci-fi, and I do definitely think that that's going to be, like, if I ever make it into the business, that'll be the genre that I'm mostly associated with, but I don't want to be just shackled down with sci-fi.
Yeah, you don't want to be pigeonholed into, okay.
Yeah, I want to be able to do a lot of different stuff.
Okay. Chris?
Yeah, I feel like the same way, but I like sci-fi too. I wouldn't mind doing sci-fi, but I feel like I'm more of like a horror angle.
Okay.
Like the more I'm starting to appreciate film, the more I'm starting to see that a lot of my filmmakers have done like more horror movies and stuff like that. So.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to kind of touch on that. You already said Star Wars. Do you have any other influences, or?
For me, for a while, yeah, with George Lucas. But as I grew up, started learning more about the industry. There's tons. I can say Martin Scorsese, Steven Spielberg, whatever. But I think for me lately, it's been kind of like John Carpenter.
Okay, nice.
Because I kind of like how he did his music and his movies.
And not taking credit for it in Halloween.
Yeah, he called it like the Bowling Green Massacre.
Yeah. James?
So my inspirations?
Yeah.
Funny enough, I think my biggest inspiration is probably the game series Mass Effect, and also Life is Strange, because Mass Effect showed me that like you can create such like amazing diverse worlds that like just have such like an expansive story, whereas Life is Strange taught me that you don't need this really big extravagant like setting just to have a stunning story.
Okay, so you both kind of said you want to do the screenwriting. Would you mind dabbling anywhere else in film, or are you set on that's what you want to do?
I'm kind of set on directing, but I wouldn't mind doing screenwriting too.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm kind of like that too. Where I'm 100% set on screenwriting, but if I ever get a chance to direct, I wouldn't say no.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, there's like other things too. Like I wouldn't mind like maybe producing too, or like cinematography.
Okay.
Like if I don't ever become a director or screenwriter, I wouldn't mind learning cinematography.
Okay. So I think you said you don't really care about the awards, but let's say end of your career, what's the happy, what would make you happy at the end of your career? What have you accomplished?
It's like what John Carpenter said. I remember him saying, like, this was recently I saw that he said that like, oh, I can die happily anytime because I was able to make a movie and just put it in the theaters and people enjoyed it. You know, that would be fine with me.
Okay. Same question for you.
That's a little bit more childish. My end game, I want to make a Spider-Man movie.
Oh, okay.
That's very specific.
for an actual studio or just in general?
In general.
Okay.
I just sit down in the theater, see my Spider-Man movie, and just be like, yep, I'm done.
Is there like a specific story you want to do?
The death of Spider-Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to see that.
Right?
Okay.
I thought that'd be a really fun one to do.
Yeah.
Can you remember your first project that you worked on?
Oh God.
Oh boy, boy.
I mean, there were some really crappy home movies.
Hey, it counts.
Yeah. I don't know if they're on YouTube, and if they are, I'm not going to tell you guys. But there were some of the ones I showed to you, and like they were just normal like projects I did for college. They were just very like cheesy. One of them was just a dumb music video, but I was learning how to use my DSLR. So, but there's some in high school that I did too. I think those I would consider those my first projects.
Okay.
The ones I did in high school.
Okay.
So.
The ones I did in high school were definitely my first projects, and those were mostly just like my friend and I came up with a character that we affectionately called Dick Danger, the most generic action hero you can think of. He's a ninja trained by blah 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 blah. So anytime we had a project, we would find a way to weasel him into it. So it's like if we had a project that was like film a chase scene, it'd be like Dick Danger being chased by ninjas, stuff like that. So like I would guess the Dick Danger series was my first project.
Okay. With any trends going on in filmmaking right now, can you mention any that you're not a fan of and some that you might be a fan of? You know, something like a fad like 3D or, you know, what have you.
Yeah, 3D,
Yeah,
obviously.
3D would be one. I think I'm pretty sure that's gone now again.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if it comes back again.
I think Venom is going to be 3D.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh God.
It says so on the poster, at least.
It's probably be another like typical one, but sometimes in horror movies with the typical like cheesy like jump scares.
Oh, okay.
Or, like super cheap. I mean,
I think. Sorry.
Oh no.
I think Chris Stuckman put it pretty well during his commentary track for Signs. The scene where Mel Gibson is going through the cornfield and he runs into the alien. He didn't need a big, extravagant like dun dun. Like all it was, this beautiful musical cue, and you just see the alien's leg, and that was enough to scare the shit out of me. Like, yeah, you don't need jump scares.
Yeah, you really don't. That's like the problem I think with like especially with mainstream horror. It's just like they think, oh, you know, we need the jump scare here and there. You know, especially from what we saw today in Forever Purge, there was a lot of useless jump scares. And so I was like, yeah.
I think the thing that what jump scares like show to me is mostly just it shows that the directors and the writers aren't confident enough in their scares. You know?
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything that you can think of that maybe at least Hollywood filmmaking is missing that you would introduce that maybe hasn't been used yet? Whether it's storytelling or visual or like maybe a different medium, anything like that?
Sure, yeah, that's something I'm still thinking about. You know,
Okay.
'cause I'm trying to think of like what
You know, the next big...
Yeah, I mean, like I don't really want to be the next big name.
Yeah.
But it's just like, you know, I just want to do whatever I want to do, and just, you know, hopefully people have fun with it. They have fun with it. If they don't, they don't.
Okay. All right, let's say a kid walked up to you and said, I want to do what you're trying to do. What's the advice you give them?
I'll be helpful this time.
Man, I really don't know what I would say. I'm still trying to find that advice. I don't know. Because of like recent life events, I definitely had to figure out like, all right, I need a plan B because this isn't a guaranteed thing. As much as I would love it to be, I feel like a lot of it is also luck. Like, I really want to be a screenwriter, but when I go back to school, I'm also going to study to become a teacher, just because I feel like I need that fallback.
Okay.
So as like cynical as it is, and like not as like hopeful.
So have a backup plan might be your advice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that one's kind of a tough one too. I'm kind of like the same boat in a way, you know, because you kind of have to be realistic in thinking, especially with this
Keep your
kind of economy.
expectations in check.
Yeah,
Okay.
especially with this kind of economy too. But also just don't be afraid to like dream big, and because you can still get that chance.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and then we'll just wrap it up. Do you have any projects you're working on, or any social media you want to plug?
I mean, I have a few ideas, but nothing is like really concrete. But if people are curious, I mean, I don't know when I'm gonna start shooting stuff. I guess you can follow my YouTube channel. It's Ewok Chris, lowercase.
What was it?
Ewok Chris.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm always working on something, so I feel like there's always an idea out there. But there are 2 projects that I'm working on. I don't know if I should share them.
Only if you want to. You don't have to if you don't want to.
But yeah, I have like one sci-fi project and like one more drama comedy kind of thing. Also sci-fi, because I always lean back on that. If I were to plug a channel, I guess my personal channel, even though there's nothing on there yet, which is PVT Buttercrunch.
All right. Cool. Thank you for your time.